Okay, hello everybody. So tonight we're doing some face yoga. So I'm live here to answer any of your questions, any of your concerns about face yoga, your face, and any questions about face posture, tongue posture, mewing, anti-aging, exercises, massage. Just let me know. So I'm just going to do a routine. I want to work on the lower face area and like face slimming tonight. So we'll do like about a 15-minute thing together. Let's just start with some cheek vibrations just to relax the lower face. So inhaling through the mouth and inhaling through the mouth. And so make sure to really get those cheeks to vibrate big. All right, really good, everybody. So that will help to relax the lower face, any tension in the lower face. It's a great way to reset the tension in the lower face. So with relaxing the lower face, we then want to work on improving the mid face. Anyone want to have a shorter, kind of more lifted mid face? This is a really great exercise for that. It basically helps to build and lift the mid face. So what happens as we age, we tend to not show our upper teeth as much. We show more of our lower teeth. So leave in the comments. Let's see if yeah, here I can see chat. Okay. All right, so somehow I cannot see the chat right now. Live chat. Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll see it as people start to chat more. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, so let's do this cheek exercise. So using your cheeks, smile, show your upper teeth. Yep. Don't show your lower teeth as much as possible. And just smile and really try to use your cheeks up here. Smile as big as you can. Yep, use these cheeks and hold it for like 10 seconds. And relax. So if that was difficult to be able to use this area instead of the lower cheek area and the lower face, let's do some massage to help relax the tension in the lower face. So taking your hands, bringing them into knuckles, putting them against the lower face, and let's just do little tiny circles. So you're pinning the knuckles in the lower face, in the chin, jaw area. Let's do little circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm like massaging the flesh, the skin, the muscles against the bone. And it's quite a good massage. And then moving up the jaw here, little circles, all the way to the edge like the masseter. And then to help to slim the lower face even more so, the space between like the corner of your lip and your ear, align your knuckles along there, right? And these muscles, oh yes, I can see the comments. How to expand palate from Sam. Hello, Sam. Great question. Okay, we can talk about that. So let's just start with this lower cheek massage right here. I want you, hi, hello, welcome. I want you to do little circles against your teeth. It should feel quite good. So this area, people want to get like buccal fat removal. You don't need that to have a leaner lower face area. This massage really, really helps with making the lower face area more lean looking. So you don't need buccal fat removal. The fat pads don't have to be removed. Okay, you can relax the tension in these muscles. So let me just grab my demonstrator here. Ooh. Right. So here's this skull, and we have like muscles that go from like the middle of the mouth all the way across. Yep, like that. And if we don't use them as much, they will atrophy and you can get that more kind of chiseled look. If you like that chiseled look, that's what you can do. You can help to atrophy those muscles. And an important way of doing that is how you eat. Okay, so if you put food and like when you're drinking as well, if you put food and liquid like too much in those pockets, they will build and build and build, and you won't have like that hollowed, more chiseled look. Okay, some people like that look, some people don't like that look. I like a little bit of that look on myself, um, but it's okay if people don't have that look. I think it's kind of preference. Some people like it, some people don't. I like it, and I like it in other people as well. So choose what you want with that. But if you want it to be more kind of chiseled looking, more slim, then taking your knuckles and relaxing right in there kind of makes like the flesh go more above your knuckles, and really try to relax down here. Yeah. And then also over time, using your chin and your lower face less and less will make this area atrophy a little bit more. And so it won't be as like bulky. And the massage can help with that. So use it less, and using more of the upper cheeks and more of kind of like the jaw muscles and the tongue muscles will give that like really kind of more chiseled look in the face, in the profile, the contoured look. So, all right. So we had a question from Sam about narrow palate. I'm assuming that you mean like how to improve a narrow palate. Welcome. Hello, everybody. If you're in here, let me know any questions that you might have about your face, about posture, about mewing, about anti aging, face yoga. So, in terms of a narrow palate, it can be kind of difficult to get out of that because if the tongue doesn't fit well on the upper palate, then it's going to be hard to widen the upper palate. And that's our main way of doing that, really, is to use the tongue. So, usually, the first thing that I encourage people to do if they want to have a wider palate is to tone the tongue, basically, to strengthen the tongue, make it more tight, make it more like kind of narrow and more toned. And then it will fit better on the upper palate. And then it will be able to help over time widen it. So that's one thing, is making the tongue stronger. Another thing would be to focus more on like the back and the middle part of the tongue, and less so on the front of the tongue. So even if everyone just if you know what I mean by tongue posture, having your tongue up to the roof of the mouth, and instead of putting the tip of your tongue up, just put the back of the tongue. Just put the posterior part up. Just forget about the front of the tongue. Just the back up. And you'll see under the chin, it will tighten up. Okay, so doing that and just really working on getting the back of the tongue up. And hopefully the back of the tongue can fit on your palate, soft palate area. Now, like for me back there, all the way back there, there's no teeth on the side, so it can fit fine. So let me know what happens for you when you do that. Okay, so Sam, okay, cool, thank you. I feel like I can't get the whole width of the tongue. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, I know, I think I know what you mean. Okay, if you can't get the whole width of the tongue, then let's just, yeah, then tongue, same thing, like tongue toning, and also just working with what you have as well. So if you can't get like all of it on there, just put pressure on like the part that you can get on there, because you don't want to push against your teeth. That's not great. So let's just do a little bit of tongue exercises, since I've been talking about that already, and then we can carry on. So Sam, I see that you've messaged again. I'll just do the tongue exercises. We'll start there and then I can address those. So tongue exercises, it's just basically sticking your tongue out a lot and pointing at different directions and whatnot. So sitting normally upright, and stick your tongue out as far as you can. And then move it to the side. And move it to the side without not moving your face too much. You should feel the back of the tongue kind of lengthening. And make it as long and sort of as tight as you can. And then now the other side. Really good. Just like 5 seconds on each side is really good. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. So that's just toning and tightening the tongue. So we can do kind of other things to help with that as well. So if you do like a jaw stretch and you can stick your tongue out kind of in the direction of the jaw stretch, and really when you stick it out, really point it, really make it tight and as long as you can. Mm. About 5 seconds for each one is good. So we'll do the other side. Sorry, jaw stretch. Mm. All right, and relax. And similarly, like if you do different neck exercises, so like just bringing your chin over to one shoulder, looking over one shoulder, which we don't tend to do very much, shockingly, and then sticking your tongue out as far as possible. Really make it as tight, long as possible. And then the other side too. Let me just read the comments while we do the other side. Not the comments, what am I saying? The chat. Okay. What are people saying? So make sure to do the other side. Sam says, what about bringing maxilla forward with the fingers like thumb pulling? Oh yeah, for a narrow palate. Yep, that can be really helpful. I can go into that again. Sam, yep, so Sam, that's what you said. And then Thomas, hi, user tutorials for ages. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Eli says, thanks, I will try that. Do you have any opinions on gua sha, Thomas? Yeah, gua sha is really good. It's kind of like a substitute for using your hands, or your hands are a substitute for using gua sha. I like gua sha. I find I only want to use it occasionally, to be honest. I tend to prefer to like to use my hands, but gua sha is nice. You can sterilize it, make sure it's clean. Hands might not be as clean. Um, so yeah, so, but you can absolutely use a gua sha. So like what we were doing down here, you could take a gua sha. Just see if I've got one in my bag. I seem to have it in here right this second. But yeah, you can take a gua sha and put it against your lower jaw and do the same sort of thing in different points of the gua sha to work on the different points of tension. So yeah, okay, so hopefully everyone did that other side. Stretching the tongue out, making it really long and pointy. And yeah, just lots of just tongue exercises. So just basically stretching it and making it as toned as you possibly can. Lifting it up to the side, the other side. And yeah, so that's really good for helping the tongue fit on the roof of the mouth. All right, and then in terms of thumb pulling, I don't know if you guys have heard of thumb pulling. Thumb pulling is a way to help to expand the upper palate using your thumbs. So it's yeah, it's sort of working more on the bone, I guess. I kind of think of it as sort of like massaging the upper palate. That's the best way for me to think about it, really. And yeah, just to kind of like relax the tissue, like sort of make the tissue amenable to, uh, becoming wider. So I haven't actually done this in a long time, the thumb pulling, but from what I remember about it, and I think in my videos I go into it more. And if I were to like really go into this, I would just rewatch my own videos again and be like, okay, what did I do? So yeah, I haven't done it in a while. And it goes to show that like you can do it for some time, a few weeks maybe, even just a couple of weeks. And then you can kind of like never do it again potentially. I mean, it depends on the person. So if you've got a problem with your upper palate, I would also recommend that you consider consulting like a myofunctional therapist, some sort of clinicians within the whole, orthodontic sort of space. Obviously, getting like serious surgeries for it might be one thing that certain doctors might suggest, and I don't necessarily think that that's always the best route to go on, but it might be for some people. But you can influence a narrow palette and make it wider. It just depends on how narrow it really is. Okay, so if it's like really quite narrow, then definitely seek some professional, opinions on this. Um, but what you can do on your own is, yeah, you can do some thumb pulling. So basically, take your thumbs and oh, the roof of my mouth is tickly. But you basically just start to kind of work on the tissue, moving it kind of out to the side and help it become wider. And in the very beginning, like you start just like kind of massaging the center of the palette, like that direction, the center line, because that's kind of where the bones spread apart. Like that's where they split. Split, if that makes sense. So that's kind of where it'll become wider. So yes, you just kind of like warming up that area, and then using your thumbs to continue pushing out. And in the first instance, I would actually just use your thumbs just to kind of like discover the area. Feel like, does it feel even? Does one area seem lower than the other? And if it does, maybe having a think about, okay, I wonder if my tongue is asymmetrical and how it's pushing. Mm. Yeah, but I would definitely say that, like, in the first instance, really just trying to get the back of the tongue up to the roof of the mouth first, and then thinking about like the other parts of your tongue. So one error that people will make is they'll focus more on the tip of the tongue, because the back of the tongue is more like the neuro connection is not very strong. It's harder for us to feel that part of our tongue. We don't really use it very much. We can't really feel it very much. Whereas the tip of the tongue has a lot more neural firing going on. But that can cause a lot of chin tension, and it can actually, yeah, it can just cause a lot of issues in the front here, like corners of the lips going down, overworking muscles in the chin. We don't want that. So focusing more on the back of the tongue, that will really help the neck be nice and lifted, and it will really snatch the jawline massively. So just focus on that back part of your tongue. Focus on that and really getting that part of the palate nice and sort of spacious for your tongue and for your airway. That's what this is ultimately about. Let me just see if I can get back to the chat. Okay, would this work if you wear a mouth guard at night? I'm not really sure. I mean, I think I've never worn a mouth guard, so I don't know what that would feel like and what they're like. Um, does a mouth guard prevent you from mewing at night? Anyone want to answer that in the chat for me? Like, does it get in the way of the tongue going up? I would imagine not. Does it just go over your teeth? Like, how does a mouth guard work? Okay, so Sam says, okay, thank you. Oh, I'm doing myofunctional therapy. That's good, Sam. Yeah, I think myofunctional therapy is good. What do you think of it so far, Sam? Is it helping? Yeah, are you doing like, are they doing exercises with you and whatnot? Like, what's it all about? I'm curious. I actually considered like doing some like studying myofunctional therapy, but I I prefer this, to be honest. I prefer, you know, the face yoga aspect of things as well. So I didn't end up pursuing that. Like I always could, I suppose, but yeah. Okay, so yes, we talked a bit about that. We've done some tongue exercises. Let's do like a couple, like let's just do like one or two more combination style exercises. And those will hopefully like just wrap a lot combined into one. This has evidently worked. Sorry, Thomas just said, this has evidently worked for you and your results are maintained. How much maintenance is required to keep the changes? Last cue was about expanding the palate, not mewing. Okay. Yeah, so in terms of the thumb pulling, it's going to depend on how like narrow the palate is, what's really required to make it wide enough for your tongue to fit there comfortably, for your palate to be in a good space. So, but once you get to that like good balance in your face and in your maxilla and everything, like then the maintenance, like there's no thumb pulling maintenance necessarily. Um, it will just depend on your habits. So everyone's in a different place. They have different habits. So it's quite individual. And it also just sort of depends on what your issues are. But I know for me personally, my issue, like my main face issues are like, believe it or not, um, I just don't smile very much sometimes. Like I can just be like very, like, I can have a real like frowny look on my face. If just on my own doing stuff, I can really stress out. Like seriously, I can get so stressed and anxious and just like not use my cheeks and just be like, oh, like, and that's when I just start noticing problems for myself over the years, as like once I was leaving my 20s and whatnot. Um, so that kind of has its own like prescription, so to speak, than someone else who might have other issues, like for example, they might have like oral issues. Maybe they have problems breathing through their nose or something. Like we're all kind of different, right? So we're all going to have a different set of maintenance required once we reach kind of our goals. So yeah, so I will tend to kind of like use this part of my face more. I'll show my lower teeth a lot. I'll just get kind of like lazy with my face, like, oh, and just kind of like, I don't know, just a bit negative. So for me, whenever I'm practicing face yoga and I'm practicing all these things with you guys and on my own, it helps me be more positive. It helps me feel more positive. Um, Even though I'm not necessarily like fake feeling positive. It's not like I'm pretending everything's fine. It's more of just like I'm not like forcing myself to be negative about everything like usual. So yeah, so it really just depends on you. I know for me, like I do need tension release pretty frequently. So that's definitely what I need. And then I also there's certain muscles that I need to exercise. So like for me, it's definitely the upper cheeks and the upper lips. So I was doing this earlier with someone, this upper lip exercise, which I really like. You start with just pressing your lips against each other and just press them as hard as you can. Mm. And this will help to build the upper lip, shorten the upper lip, which is also what mewing helps with. So helps to shorten the mid face. And then to kind of increase that positive thing in your upper lip is to put your fingers inside the mouth on the upper lip and then press the fingers with your upper lip. You can really feel the muscle tightening and you can really feel the resistance. And it also helps to kind of stretch the tightness that can happen right here in the fascia. So just help with the mobility. It's a really good one. Oh. All right, so that's a really good exercise. Let's just do like, there's one exercise I'm thinking of. I think I had it on my Instagram and on my TikTok, and it really helps to contour the face. Okay, so take your knuckle and put it in the area between your cheekbone and your jaw, like right in that corner, and then do a jaw stretch. So you really pin it in there, really find that meaty bit. Do a jaw stretch. And then for everybody who's doing all this stuff, definitely want to do your tongue exercises. Stick your tongue out over all the way to the other side. Mm-hmm. And then hold that. Mm-hmm. 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 And relax. Okay, so that one's really great for releasing some of the fascia in the cheek and the jaw, toning the tongue at the same time, which is going to help to lift the mid face, lift the cheeks, widen the palate, and also to tone the jaw and help with the shape of the jaw. And this, like this area, help to slim this area and to also tighten any sort of jowling and that kind of thing. So let's do the other side, taking your knuckle, putting it in between the jaw and the cheeks, really pinning it, and then jaw stretch, and then tongue out, over to the opposite side. Make sure to lift the corner of your lip up. I can really feel that. Yeah, it's quite a good one, isn't it? Mm. And relax. Some comments here. I can really feel that. That's good. Awesome. Thanks. Jaw aches when pressed in that area. Guessing that's a good thing. Yeah, I mean, that's just telling you that there's definitely some tiredness there, some tension. My face feels so tense. Yeah, that one can, if that one feels really tight, you don't have to do all those at the same time. You can just do the jaw stretch on its own. You could just do some massage and like fascia release with the knuckle, and you can just do the tongue stretch. So you don't have to always combine them, but if you combine it, it's like quite an immediate big effect. What else was I going to say? Yeah, another thing like with the knuckle in the jaw area. So you can do that, and instead of stretching over to the side, just open the jaw. And it's nice to have the tongue up to the roof of the mouth when you're doing it as well. Yeah, that's a really good one to help release those muscles. I've been feeling a lot of tensions in my whole face, so doing these might be something I have to do more often, to be honest. Yeah, awesome. That's really good. Yeah, these should be really helpful then. Well done. Well, that's really great. Wow, I've been here a lot longer than I thought I would be. 27 minutes. That's great. It's been enjoyable. Well done, you guys. I feel like we really got to do some good stuff, and good stuff for the jaw and the lower face, and for contouring, improving the whole area here. Everything aches. Guess my whole face is tight then. Yeah, I mean the jaw muscles, cheek muscles, and then also like the temporal muscles. These are all like big muscles, fairly big muscles, so you can really feel it everywhere. And yeah, if you're feeling a lot of tension, definitely check out on my channel. It's a couple years old, but it's still really, really good. It's a face massage. It's a full face massage. There's not that many views on it, and I don't know why. It's really sad because that's like a really, really good, effective face massage. So I'll have to somehow like redo that video in a way that people respond to better. But it's like a 10-minute full face massage. I think depuffing, anti-aging, and it really will help to work on the tension in the face. So definitely check that out if you want a little bit more than what we've done tonight. And yeah, and yeah, do these when you want to, and don't forget the importance of always just like grabbing your knuckles, just going in there and just doing little bits of acupressure on the jaw, chin, underneath as well, just releasing that tension. And then the cheek vibrations. So let's just end with some cheek vibrations, because now that we've done a lot of release, cheek vibrations should be even easier. So inhaling through the mouth. Those should be pretty released. So you can really see there, like it really kind of helps this area. It's just so much more kind of elastic. It just feels a lot more like it can just go out and then in, out and then in. I don't know how else to say that. It's elastic. So yeah, check those out, try those out. And I'm going to be posting some more like content on my page. I'm planning more content for my page. Definitely like leave comments on random videos right now or whatever you want on this video. And just tell me what you want me to make videos about, what you're interested in. I've got some ideas right now, but I still always want to hear from you guys. and I'll always take that as a precedent in consideration for making videos. So yeah, what kind of videos do you want? What do you guys want more help with? Let me know, and I will add that into my plan. So thank you so much, everybody. It's been really great to do this. You've been fantastic. Thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your night. Well done, you guys.